All right. We are in week 2, 2025. I will preface the rest of this by saying that week 2 was certainly less productive than week 1. Not great. I don't want to say it was less eventful. It was a bit of a rough week for me. I'm not going to lie. It was rough. But less got done. On the 9th, I actually got quite a bit done, actually, on Wednesday. I got up, I washed my sheets, I pre-ordered a lot of figures on the 9th, which, I know it's not, a productive thing, but, things happened. I pre-ordered a bunch of figures. I pre-ordered a bunch of Nindoroids. I got, a Akechi, I got the Raiden Shogun, I got Spike, I want to say there was another one. I'm trying to think, though, what the fuck was it? What did I do? Anyway, I pre-ordered a lot of figures. It came out to, almost goddamn $300. Rough. Luckily, they're all pre-order, so I didn't have to pay for them all up front. I'll get the payments when they're actually ready, and, it will be fine, but, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn. But yeah, I got my sheets washed, these very sheets right here, and my pillowcase. It's something, that's something I actually need to be better about. I'm sorry if that's a gross thing to admit, but I don't wash my sheets quite as often as I should. They get washed. It's not and I haven't washed it in 5 years. No, they get washed, but I should be doing it at least once a month, and I'm not on top of that, and I'm sorry. I am a guy, and I sleep alone in my bed, and I don't think about it. So, it is what it is. I started watching, House, because it's just something to put on during dinner, with my family, and both my mom and my dad have seen House, so they were fine watching it again. It's something that we could just kind of put on, and we don't have to, actively pay attention too much. We can have dialogue. We don't have to, log the fuck in for, 45 minutes, which is nice. I'm paying attention. I know what's going on, but it's, I don't need to, be absolutely fucking glued to the screen. Work got canceled for me this week. 2 days, actually. 2 days it was canceled. There was a winter storm that came in. There was snow, actually. Not very common in Texas. Not very common. I've seen snow before. When I grew up, there was a lot. Not going to say a lot of snow, but snow wasn't the most crazy thing in the world in Oklahoma. It happened. It was a thing that happened. But here, we don't really get it, especially in the last several years. Freeze aside, that wasn't great. If I was doing weekly recaps then, you would have seen me in the fucking dark. But, hey. It just snowed, no power outages, no nothing like that. But the roads were fucked up, and it was cold, and everyone it was just you know what, fuck this. Because in other places, that wouldn't have been a big deal. But we don't really have the infrastructure, resources, and skill to deal with that. It could be one drop of rain on the road, and everyone is losing their fucking minds, don't know what the fuck to do anymore. So, ice is a factor where you just stay your ass inside, all right? Even if you know how to drive in snow, if you're in Texas, don't, because nobody else around you knows, and first of all, you're taking your life into your own hands every time you get on the road in Texas. It is astonishing how bad everyone is at driving, and that might be rich for me to say, considering that I don't have a driver's license, and I do make some stupid maneuvers on the road, but, just talking off what I've noticed, even in my limited experience, it's fucking crazy how unpredictable people are and how stupid they are and just the basic things they don't do. That blinker, it ain't getting thrown on in Texas. You better just intuitively know what the person in front of you is going to do. Be fucking ready. Be fucking ready. So, it is what it is. So I did that, and I finished this documentary on Natalia Grace, which I didn't even remember that I had started. Because a lot of the things I watch because my parents throw them on during dinner, and I'm just I'm along for the ride because I'm eating my pierogies, so whatever the fuck. And, that's that. And they threw on this Natalia Grace documentary, do you remember this, blah, blah, blah. And it's about this girl who the parents, she suffers from dwarfism, she's a dwarf, and her parents tried to allege that she was actually much older than she was claiming to be. She was actually an adult, posing as a child. She was, a fully fledged adult posing as a child with her dwarfism, and she's also a sociopath who wants to kill them. And it's pretty interesting because it's obvious that's just not fucking true. And they either believed it so much or wanted to believe it so much that they actually sent her to live on her own as an 11-year-old. They bought her an apartment in fucking a really bad part of town, by the way, dangerous part of town, and just forced her to live on her own, which, even if she was the, like, 27-year-old they claimed, she wasn't. But even if she was, she is disabled. So, not okay to have her live on her own with no guidance regardless, but be it as it may. It was an interesting documentary, and it had, like, taken a hiatus, and my parents, like, put it back on because there were some new episodes, or I think maybe they just kind of remembered it. I mean, anyway, I finished that documentary. Interesting stuff. I hope that she's doing good. From the looks of how it ended, it seems like she's in a better place now. It was a lot of disputes and a lot of people and just a lot of, yeah. But finished that. I didn't really work on my Lego set this week, which I need to get back into doing. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last one, but I do have a Lego set that I'm working on. I need to go back to it. I don't have, like, a ton of it left. I just didn't think about it much this week. It's been so cold. The dining room has been fucking freezing, and it's just the way that it is. Oh, I also neglected to mention the last one. I didn't do this week, I did this last week, but I have my DS is all decorated. I decorated it last week, right before I took the video recap, actually. I didn't put anything on the bottom. I'm censoring this because it has sensitive info. I went to the psych ward, and this was in my luggage, and they put a sticker on it with all my information. And I've just kind of kept it on because, like, shit. It's good shit. But, yeah, no. Decorated it. It's got some seals and some polar bears and some cats. Can't really see it great because of the way where I have my phone. But, you know, it's cute. Just something I wanted to do. Completely unnecessary, but inexpensive because stickers aren't very expensive. I had a good time. My DS is blue, and I kind of wish it wasn't. Like, if I could go back in time and pick a different color, I would. But I can't. I was, like, what? 7, maybe 6 when I picked this out? I think 7. I was, like, 7 years old when I picked this out, and I think I wanted, in my brain, I was like, I need to pick something that's not girly. So I went with blue. I like the color blue. No shade to the color blue. I like it. It's up there. But this is very deep blue, and it's just not the vibe that I typically would have gone for. But I decided to just work with what I had, and I made myself a nice little, like, ocean theme, because I love seals. I do like the ocean, so I just took advantage of that. So, just make do with what you've got, because I'm not buying another DS. It's not going to happen. This one works just fine. I'm not buying another one. So yeah, no, I did that. Not a lot of drawing done this week. Actually, I did a little chart with my self-insert in D-Luke. So that's the first, like, finished drawing I've done in a while. I wouldn't really even call it that. I really just kind of gave them headshots, then kind of colored it in. Well, I guess bust, I guess. Anyway, it wasn't great. It wasn't, like, a big thing, but I did get that done. So, you know, that happened. You know, I'm trying to think what else I did this week. I mean, it's been a slow week. I will admit, not my most productive week. I got into a fight with someone I care about, and that fucking sucked. It sucked balls. And it weighed on my mind, and I felt lazy this week, and I was unmotivated, and I didn't want to get anything done. And you know what? That's that. But today, I was a little more productive. Today, I made a bracelet. Actually, let me go grab that. Sorry, I had to go grab the bracelet, but I got, made it one for Kokomi. I can't really show it very good on this, but yeah, it's a little candy single. It's actually way too big for my arm. I don't have very thick wrists, but yeah, no, it's too big for my arm, but it did come out cute. I kind of noticed that I fucked up on part of it. I added a bead I didn't mean to add, but it came out good. I actually bought, these are these little acrylic, like, patches. That's what AliExpress calls them. I don't know what the fuck they're actually called because I've looked into it in an attempt to, like, see if I can get my own made, to no avail. But, what I've gone and done is I had to attach these little, like, hooks to them with adhesive glue. I found them on Etsy, which is good because prior to that, I was hot gluing them directly to the beads because that's just what I had. It's not like I went and bought hot glue. It's just I had hot glue, and I was like, let me see if that works. And, I mean, it kind of did, but I didn't realize that they weren't going to, like, stay on. Like, on this one, these are held. This one's, like, stuck to the bead with, like, hot glue. You can't really tell. Maybe you can. But I just kind of stuck it on with hot glue. And, I mean, it does kind of work, but they will pop off if you use them too much. Because they're not safely fastened. So I have some adhesive glue, and I've got an actual loop behind it. So it is an actual, like, bead, technically. I made it into an actual bead. You can tell, like, it's dangling. Like, it stands on its own. So I'm hoping to make more stuff with that. I got a couple beads. I got, like, these daggers charms. I'm hoping to make one for Joker. I want to get back into candy making. I was going pretty good on it for a while, and I kind of fell off. And like I said in the last one, I have an addiction to buying beads and doing nothing with them. So I want to change that. I think part of it is, like, I get ideas, and I want to do these things, but then I make them, and I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, I don't know what to do with this. And it's like, I enjoyed making it. It's pretty, and that should be enough. And it is. I'll still do it, but it's like, I also hold on to it, and I'm just like, now what? Now what? I guess I could try to sell it, not even necessarily to turn a profit, because it's kind of hard to do that, but I don't know. I don't know, like, any, like, crazy Cook On Me fans that I could, like, send this to and be like, do you want this? It's, you know, but anyway, hoping to get back into that. Should be fun. I have a bunch of stuff wishlisted on Etsy if I continue to take this seriously and keep churning them out, because they are fun to make, and I do love all this cool beads I see, but no use in buying them if I'm not gonna fucking use them. And also today I reorganized my Ita bag. Wow, look at that. Good stuff. So right here I've got the bootleg D-Luke Nui. Why is it bootleg? Well, because his real one's like 80 bucks, and I'm not paying for that, at least not to put on my bag that goes everywhere. So I'm completely fine having a fucking, like, $10 fake one dangle off my bag. Don't care. I'll buy the real one eventually, probably, but it's not going on my bag that I cart everywhere. I got this on the back zipper because it's kind of got, like, this tassel on it and whatnot. So it was kind of too chunky to put in the main part, but I still really like it. It's a really pretty keychain. I got a lot of this stuff from a convention I went to in summer with my friend. A lot of it is from that, and a lot of it is also from AliExpress. Can't lie to you. And then one of them is a pin I actually made myself a while back. And then this pin right here, my friend Alice, also the person I went to that convention with, she picked that up for me and gave it to me at the convention. So really good stuff. Just really, really good stuff all around. Cute. Very cute. And then, Alice also picked this up for me at a different convention. A little owl look. And this is from AliExpress. But it's good stuff. This is the bag that I take. God damn, holding it with one arm low-key heavy. It's the bag I take to work and to college, and just I carry all my shit in. It actually gets a lot of compliments. I was a little in my head about it when I first did it, because I love D-Luke. That's goat. That's fucking goat. That's Pooks, all right? That's Pooks. This right here, D-Luke body pillow. That's Pooks. And you know what? You can laugh at me, but I needed a pillow to put behind me because of it's all shelf behind here. It's hollow right here. This is where I keep my weed. But, so, and I needed a long pillow, and I was like, well, if I'm already going to have to buy a long fucking pillow, go big or go home. And I got a little D-Luke. But, I like it. He just kind of sits behind me and chills. No freaky shit, though I'm sure everyone would love to hear that. But, no, he just kind of sits on my bed and supports my back. And that's all he needs to do. But, yeah, no, that's Pooks. But I was in my head about it at first, thinking, like, what if people are so mean to me? But as it turns out, in college, people don't really have time to do that. And I actually have gotten several compliments on it. I get a lot of compliments on it, actually, because what I do when I go into work is I go in and I sit down at a table closest to the freezer, and I do stuff there while I wait for customers to come in, because I don't have, like, constant things to do at my job on a good day. And I can just sit and chill, and I usually just have it propped up next to me so that I can, get in, get my sketchbook, get my iPad, do whatever I need to do. And people see it, and I do get compliments on it relatively often, so that has been nice. People like it. People like it, and I am glad. I also have this tattoo. Everyone I know has seen this, but I love my tattoo. It's great. I love him. When people compliment the Ita bag, I'm like, guess what? I fucking go big or go home. This is serious. I will die by this shit. And that's fine by me. And I have to just be authentically myself, regardless of what other people think. You have to live authentically to yourself. Fuck everybody else, because forcing yourself to be someone you're not is fucking painful. I would know. It is not good. And I still find myself in some bad patterns where I will try to be someone I'm not, or try to conform to something I really shouldn't be conforming to, have no business doing that to. And it's not a good way to live. It's not productive. It's bad for the mental. You got to just accept who you are and just live the way that you want to live. Because people like that. People like when you are yourself, okay? In most settings, okay? High school and below, that setting, terrible place to be yourself. Low key, act a little fake. I'm sorry. I know that kind of contradicts all of what I just said. But when you're in the presence of evilness, you might have to act a little fake. That's fine. That's completely normal. It is what it is. But, you know, when you're out in the real world, you can be yourself. And you should still find ways to be yourself in other aspects of your life. You shouldn't be a shell of yourself every waking moment. That's fucking brutal and miserable, and I've been there. But, you know, there are situations where it's completely understandable to lock the fuck in and not do what your heart tells you. Now, that said, you should still be socially, like, adequate. I mean, you're not going to be able to get away with... You can get away with a lot of things if you are good socially, but if you're really socially awkward, it becomes a lot harder. People take things a lot easier when you are sociable and not, well, I don't want to say attractive. When you're not, like, what would be considered conventionally unattractive, that makes things easier. It is a privilege. I mean, and I'm not saying that as self-fellatio, like, actually people treat me normal because I look so fucking hot. It's not that. But I will be nice to myself and say that I look like a normal person. I look like an average human being, and I am sociable, and I am outgoing, and that does help with people's willingness to accept weirder things. And there are some people who don't have that, and it is good to work on our social skills. We can be outgoing, and we can be enjoyable while also being a little weird, and we can all get along. Okay, but usually but long tangent, but all that to say, people have been very nice about the Eat a Bag. They've been very nice. They like it. They think it's cool. They like that people like authenticity. They like when you keep it real. Again, not in high school and below, but beyond that, people like it when you keep it real. What else have I done this week? Me and Atlas have been getting through Breaking Bad. I've already seen it, and I've already seen all of Better Call Saul. Again, I don't remember if I mentioned that last one. It's all over the place. As of recording this video, we are on episode 9 of season 2. We've just met Saul. It's good stuff. I fucking love Breaking Bad. It's fucking cinema. I'm so glad that I finally put it into motion, getting my herd on. We gotta get Ben on. Okay, he's a little behind. We've kind of been blowing through it really quick, but we're gonna get Ben on. I won't leave my herd member to die. He needs to be put on peak. Same with Nino. He's really behind, but I'm gonna get everybody up to speed. I'll rewatch that bitch 10 times if it means I have to, because I love it. It's a good fucking show. What can I say? I love Jesse. I don't like it when they're mean to him. When people are mean to Jesse, it gives me the same type of emotion as I get when people are mean to SpongeBob. You can't do that. That's just, it infuriates me. It makes me so fucking mad. Be nice to him. Be nice to him. That is, I want to put Jesse in my pocket and show him the world and keep him with me, and just, I need to keep that man safe, because what's going on in his life is brutal. And interestingly, going back and rewatching Breaking Bad is very interesting, because now I know how it all ends up. When I went into Breaking Bad initially, I had some spoilers because of, like, memes online and whatnot, but I didn't really know what was going on, and it's a crazy thing to experience blind. It is insane to experience blind. It is a beautiful experience. But rewatching it, knowing what's going to happen, is equally as interesting almost, because it's like, wow, it's like you kind of put things together that you wouldn't have previously, and it's just like you have a better understanding of the characters going in. It's a very interesting thing. I've also been watching it while high this time. Great if you like being high and you're not paranoid and whatnot, great. But it's intense. I love it. I don't really cry much these days. If I cry, something's going very wrong. But on that ganj, if I see anything slightly moving, it's tears. Like they were doing the scene with the talking pillow and Walt was going over his cancer treatment. I was like, this is a heartbreaking scenario to be in. Like, I was in his shoes and shit. It's crazy. Like, I'm there. It's crazy, but it's great. But no, it's been a lot of just watching Breaking Bad, sleeping, swiping my card. Actually, that reminds me. For the first time since December of 2022, I spent money on Genshin that wasn't for the Battle Pass and just Welkin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I dropped $100. I know. I dropped $100 because, listen to me, because Mavuika, her weapon just dropped. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. I'm going to be honest, guys. Me and that nation, we don't get along. I just don't find it very interesting. Sorry. They kind of have dropped the ball on that, but that's a topic for a different day. But her weapon dropped, her and her weapon, and as it turns out, her weapon is Diluc's new best weapon. What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I? That's Pooks. As we previously discussed. What am I supposed to do about that? So, I low-key had to swipe the card. I would be more mad at myself, and it is stupid, and I am like upset, but I did just get a lot of money for Christmas. I have a job, and I haven't spent that kind of cash on Genshin in a long time, and I don't intend to make it a pattern. I will not justify a pattern of that behavior because I think spending racks on Genshin is not, I don't plan on doing that. I do still plan on keeping my spending to like the Welkin, the Battle Pass, which again, still not, great investments of my money, but it's not breaking my bank. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I caved and I leveled it up, and he's good now. And I'm glad that it looks good with him, because I would have been pissed if I had to set him up with something that looked ugly, because prior to this, his other best in slot was the Redhorn Stone Thresher, which is Ito's weapon, and it does actually look good with him. It matches him quite well. So I'm glad that trend has carried over, because I would have been a little fucking irritated if it didn't. I would have endured, but, just things to consider. So yeah, that happened. I have been spending a lot of money lately. I gotta cut the fuck back. I'm talking all about this $100 on Genshin. I spent $40 on Fortnite because of Miku. But again, what am I supposed... my hands are fucking tied, y'all. They're tied. Some shit I just can't say no to. I'm sorry. And that's just been the situation, Actually, speaking of money, I spent some money on another cart because my 3-gram carts don't fit in the new battery I got. So I had to buy more. And I am low on weed. I'm out of edibles. And the only other thing that I have is these THC strips that I got sent with an order of one of my carts. And I've never had a THC strip before. I don't even know anyone who has. And I did try them. And I was kind of excited because they're supposed to be fast acting and whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, that's not too bad. I can use these while I'm waiting. And at first I just thought they just straight up didn't work. I sat around, I waited for about 3.5 hours, and I felt nothing. And I was like, well, that's that then. And I took 3 of them. I repeatedly took them out because I kept taking them thinking like, okay, maybe I took the last one wrong. So I kept taking them and trying new methods, but to no avail. I still had to wait. And then at like the 3.5 hour mark, I was talking to a friend, and I was like, is this shit hitting now? Because the thing with the THC strips, they're supposed to hit very fast because they're coming in through your bloodstream. It's like taking a pill that dissolves on your tongue rather than digesting it. It was supposed to act really quick. So I figured, obviously the 3.5 hour mark, I just figured, well, that shit didn't work. That sucks, I guess. But no. And I got high. And and I've kind of been taking them more because, again, it's all I have. Sorry. And I've been taking them, and they take forever. They take longer than an edible, and the release is so slow. Like, I felt myself gradually getting higher and higher, but so slow. Like, not a regular gradual release that you would get from an edible or anything. Like, it was crazy. So they kind of suck to take because, like, I'll end up going to bed, and then by the time I wake up, I just feel, like, kind of awful. Like, today I woke up, and I just felt so groggy and out of it and dazed and confused. And I think it's because, like, when I go to sleep, I'm still gradually getting higher. It's still releasing. So by the time I'm up, I just feel bad, bro. I just feel bad. So I'm excited for my new cart to come so I can be back on my regular shit, especially because the strips are sativa, and I'm fine. I don't, like, have a panic attack on it, but I don't like it. as much as I like indica, so it is what it is. So I'm excited to be able to get back on that and have my normal flow of operations with that, you know. That'll be good. But yeah, other than that, not a lot. I have a school starting next week, so hopefully I'll have more updates in regards to that. Yeah, this week wasn't overly productive, nothing really crazy to write home about. I'll do better at documenting what I've done this week. I started off really good on that last week, and then I had that big fight with someone I care about, and that kind of went the way of the dodo. I didn't think about it. I was kind of just writing it down in my notes app, which I use my phone to record these, so I'm going to have to not do that if I want to actually be able to reference them while I record this. So, oops. But it is what it is. You know, we win some weeks, we lose some weeks, where we have to just trudge on regardless. We have to trudge on. But yeah, that's been week 2 of 2025. I was going to say 2022. Oh my God, if I woke up tomorrow and it was 2022, gun to my fucking head, dog. No. I'm not, look, even 2022 wasn't even like a bad year necessarily, and I was on the come up, but I don't want to be set back at any, I'm good where I'm at, bro. If I woke up tomorrow and it was 2020, no. So, I wouldn't, anyway. No, week 2 of 2025, not the best, not the most productive. It pales in comparison to last week, but we can't win every week. I'm hoping to have something better to report on next time, but we'll see. We will see. Good talk. Good having everybody. Let's make week 3 of 2025 a good one.